Mr. Robles, where did you disappear to? There you go. Jaime Robles is going to make the presentation for Juan Orozco. Juan, you can sit right there. And Jaime was one of my freshman English students. That was 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years ago. Good evening to everybody, and what a great journey through the history of Delano High School. What a beautiful history, and I grew up hearing about the players in the 70s and understanding the impact that they had and what they accomplished. I was fortunate enough to play here in the 80s, and even more fortunate enough to come back in the 90s as the head football coach from 95 to 99. And that's where we had the opportunity to work with amazing humans like Johnny Orozco that you're gonna meet right now, and Shade Staples that you meet a little bit later. And you know, when you visit the 70s, when you visit this era where Delano really established itself as a power, not just in the county, but in the valley, fast forward, if you will, with me to the 90s, and a new staff taking over in 95, and trying to figure out what can we do to restore this reputation of Delano High School. When we took over in 95, the football program hadn't had a winning season in over a decade. And so what do you do to offset that momentum? What do you do to offset that and get a fresh start? What do you do to ignite a campus and a community that was so hungry? What you do is you put that team on the shoulders of a player like Johnny Orozco. And so when we look back at that team, and you traditionalists, if you ever wondered where this logo, this DT came from, it was the 96 football team, which was Johnny's senior year. So if anybody's upset about that logo and you traditionalists, here's the funny thing for me is that 23 years later, when you ask folks where do they go to school, they say DT. And it was a birth of a new era, and it was a birth of something really special that year. And the logo was easy to figure out. It was Mark Rodriguez's idea to change the color scheme. It was Jesse Ortega's design that ended up on the helmet. But it was players like Johnny Orozco that created DT. And the work ethic, it's something that's been a reoccurring theme all night. And we know that what Osvaldo did. We know the player that Baldo was. But that work ethic was shared here. It was carried on by Johnny. And I've got a lot of memories about Johnny. I had the opportunity to coach him in junior high when I was teaching in Early Mart in basketball. And one of my memories of Johnny, the fact that he was a great player, you all know that. You can read that in the program. The fact that he went on to play college football, the fact that he was a defensive lineman, or the lineman of the year in the league that year, you can read that. But this is my biggest memory of Johnny, and that is, I can't recall one time in all the years that I coached him ever having to try to get him to move, to motivate him to play. I never had to threaten him with conditioning. I never had to push him. This was a guy that the second he stepped on the field, the switch was on. The switch was on. And the focus, the determination. So how do you take a decade of struggle and how do you create a new era in Delano High School? Well, you don't just change the logo. You put the team on the shoulders of a young man like Johnny Orozco. That's what we did. And boy, the memories that I have. Tonight it is my honor as the former football coach of Delano High School, a former student and athlete of Delano High School. It is my absolute honor to introduce you to Johnny Orozco.
Thank you. Hopefully I don't butcher it and I'm not getting late, but how would I start? I want to first of all, thank my parents, for letting us play football, because if you know any parents, the summer came and it was not vacation or Magic Mountain for us. My vacation was picking grapes and, and helping the family out. But the good thing was that we would drive down to Mettler, and on the way home, my dad would drop us off at the gym. And we would work out, me and my brother. I remember that, and a lot of the players, we did that, and it builds something, character, and just makes you tough all around, That's just one thing around here, Delano, Early Mart, Rich Grove, it's tough kids. That's what we always hear, is tough kids. I'm butchering it already. My mind went blank, but thank you guys. Mr. Robles has been there for me, as well as all the other coaches. I never liked to pump myself up or anything, but I played some football. I played a little bit of football. But honestly, football wasn't my first love. It was always basketball. Always basketball. And I remember to this day, I tell my wife, I had an opportunity to play with a kid named Dante Williams. If you guys ever know who Dante Williams was, he was a good athlete. And you gave me that basketball award. Got that basketball award, and but it's just, we play the sport because we love it. We play it because we're out there and we're in the streets, and we want to be like our past heroes. I played 1 year with Coach Noriel, and then that's when Coach Robles came in, and I had an opportunity. I coached Early Mark Pop Warner, I help out, and I always tell the kids, I had opportunities to play. I was given that opportunity. So now, why can't they have the same? Why can't have the same and just push and dream? That's all you need. That's one thing you need, just to dream, and run with it. And for you young guys that are playing for DT this year, don't get frustrated. I had a coach at Alabama State. I had a coach, Coach Clayton. Big guy, 6'8", 6'10", big guy. Played for Penn State for Coach Paterno. And once a week, we would go in his office, right? We'd go in his office, and it was not football. It was just, how you doing? How's school? How's your family? And I had something on my mind. He's always on me. Orozco this, Orozco that. Orozco, you're gonna kill me. Orozco, you're gonna get me fired. And I asked him one day, hey coach, why are you always writing me? He goes, Orozco, you haven't got on it. You haven't got it. You haven't learned. He said, what do you mean, coach? He goes, the day that I stop pushing you or stop yelling at you, that's the day that, that's it. So just keep pushing. They push it and push, and don't give up. Just keep rocking and rolling, Thank you, committee, and I'm all jittery still, so thank you. I want to thank my wife, thank my parents, papá, mamá, los quiero mucho, gracias. And like I said, once a tiger, always a tiger, Thank you.